Chapter 19 of Bambi, A Life in the Woods by Felix Salten. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Read by Anne Fletcher. Chapter 19. Everybody soon saw that Gobbo had habits which seemed strange and suspicious to the rest of them. He slept at night when the others were awake, but in the daytime, when the rest of them were looking for places to sleep in, he was wide awake and went walking. When he felt like it, he would even go out of the thicket without any hesitation and stand with perfect peace of mind in the bright sunshine on the meadow. Bambi found it impossible to keep silent any longer. "Don't you ever think of the danger?" he asked. "No," Gobbo said simply. "There isn't any for me." "Oh, you forget, my dear Bambi," Gobbo's mother broke in. "You forget that he's a friend of Gobbo's. Gobbo can take chances that the rest of you cannot take." She was very proud. Bambi did not say anything more. One day Gobbo said to him, "You know, it seems strange to me to eat when and where I like." Bambi did not understand. "Why is it strange? We all do it," he said. "Oh, you do," said Gobbo superiorly, "but I'm a little different. I'm accustomed to having my food brought to me, or to being called when it's ready." Bambi stared pityingly at Gobbo. He looked at Feline and Marina and Aunt Ina, but they were all smiling and admiring Gobbo. "I think it will be hard for you to get accustomed to the winter, Gobbo," Feline began. "We don't have hay or turnips or potatoes in the winter time." That's true," answered Gobbo reflectively. "I hadn't thought about that yet. I can't even imagine how it would feel. It must be dreadful." Bambi said quietly, "It isn't dreadful, it's only hard." "Well," Gobbo declared grandly, "if it gets too hard for me, I'll simply go back to him. Why should I go hungry? There's no need for that." Bambi turned away without a word and walked off. When Gobbo was alone again with Marina, he began to talk about Bambi. "He doesn't understand me," he said. "Poor old Bambi thinks I'm still the silly little Gobbo that I once was. He can never get used to the fact that I've become something unusual. Danger? What does he mean by danger? He means well enough by me, but danger is something for him and the likes of him, not for me." Marina agreed with him. She loved him and Gobbo loved her, and they were both very happy. "Well," he said to her, "nobody understands me the way you do. But anyhow, I can't complain. I'm respected and honoured by everybody. But you understand me best of all. When I tell the others how good he is, they listen and they don't think I'm lying, but they stick to their opinion that he's dreadful." "I've always believed in him," said Marina dreamily. "Really?" Gobbo replied airily. "Do you remember the day when they left you lying in the snow?" Marina went on. "I said that day that sometime he'd come to the forest to play with us." "No," Gobbo replied, yawning. "I don't remember that." A few weeks passed, and one morning Bambi and Feline, Gobbo and Marina were standing together again in the old familiar hazel thicket. Bambi and Feline were just returning from their wanderings, intending to look for their hiding place, when they met Gobbo and Marina. Gobbo was about to go out on the meadow. "Oh, stay with us instead," said Bambi. "The sun will soon be rising, and then nobody will go out in the open." "Oh, nonsense," said Gobbo scornfully. "If nobody else will go, I will." He went on, Marina following him. Bambi and Feline had stopped. "Come along," said Bambi angrily to Feline. "Come along. Let him do what he pleases." They were going on, but suddenly the jay screamed loudly from the far side of the meadow. With a bound Bambi had turned and was running after Gobbo. Right by the oak he caught up with him and Marina. "Did you hear that?" he cried to him. "What?" asked Gobbo, puzzled. Again the jay screamed on the far side of the meadow. "Did you hear that?" Bambi repeated. "No," said Gobbo calmly. "That means danger," Bambi persisted. A magpie began to chatter loudly, and immediately after her another and then a third. Then the jay screamed again, and far overhead the crows gave warning. Feline began to plead. "Oh, don't go out there, Gobbo. It's dangerous." Even Marina begged. Stay here today, beloved one. It's dangerous." Gobbo stood there, smiling in his superior way. "Dangerous? Dangerous? What's that got to do with me?" he asked. His pressing need gave Bambi an idea. "At least let Marina go first," he said, "so we can find out." He hadn't finished before Marina had slipped out. All three stood and looked at her, Bambi and Feline breathlessly, and Gobbo with obvious patience, as if to let the others enjoy their foolish whims. They saw how Marina walked across the meadow, step by step, with hesitant feet, her head up. She peered and snuffed in all directions. Suddenly she turned like a flash with one high bound, and as though a cyclone had struck her, rushed back into the thicket. "Is he?" she whispered, her voice choking with terror. She was trembling in every limb. I saw him," she stammered. "It's he. He's standing over by the alders." "Come," cried Bambi. "Come quickly." "Oh, come," Feline pleaded. And Marina, who could hardly speak, whispered, "Please come now, Gobbo, please." But Gobbo remained unmoved. "Run as much as you like," he said. "I won't stop you. If he's there, I want to talk with him." And Gobbo would not be dissuaded. They stood and watched how he went out. They stayed there, moved by his great confidence, while at the same time a terrible fear for him gripped them. Gobbo was standing boldly on the meadow, looking around for the alders. Then he seemed to see them and to have discovered him. Then the thunder crashed. Gobbo leapt into the air at the report. He suddenly turned around and fled back to the thicket, staggering as he came. They still stood there, petrified with terror, while he came on. They heard him gasping for breath, and as he did not stop, but bounded wildly forward, they turned and surrounded him, and all took flight. But poor Gobbo dropped to the ground. Marina stopped close to him, Bambi and Feline a little farther off, ready to flee. Gobbo lay with his bloody entrails oozing from his torn flank. He lifted his head with a feeble twisting motion. "Marina," he said with an effort. "Marina." He did not recognize her. His voice failed. There was a loud, careless rustling in the bushes by the meadow. Marina bent her head towards Gobbo. "He's coming," she whispered frantically. "Oh, Gobbo, he's coming. Can't you get up and come with me?" Gobbo lifted his head again feebly with a writhing motion, beat convulsively with his hooves, and then lay still. With a crackling, snapping and rustling, he parted the bushes and stepped out. Marina saw him from quite near. She slunk slowly back, disappearing through the nearest bushes, and hastened to Bambi and Feline. She looked back once again and saw how he was bending over and seizing the wounded deer. Then they heard Gobbo's wailing death shriek. End of chapter 19.